All right. Well, good morning, YouTube. So back again with another do-it-yourself video. Last one I did was about a it was a thermostat gauge. Did it in this truck actually. Works great still. Anyway, just like my last video, I figured that I would make a video about halfway through the project. So as you can see, I have most of it taken apart. My whole issue, what I'm doing pretty much, is using this flexible exhaust repair kit. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I had a pretty bad exhaust leak up front, and that's because of this piece of shit flex pipe. It's just blown apart, disgusting. It's on a 1991 Nissan Stanza XE. So anyway, it's pretty simple what I'm doing. I'm removing this, obviously, just cut it right off. And I'm going to use this guy just to basically fill in the gap. I think it's going to be a little bit more reliable than this. I could have gone with just a newer flex pipe, but honestly, I don't like it that much. And I probably would have had to weld it right in. So that's why I'm going with this guy. It's pretty cheap, bought it at O'Reilly's. One thing I think is a little goofy about it, only comes with one of the 2-inch clamps when obviously you need two, but luckily I had an extra one sitting around. So pretty much what I'm going to do is set this back where it goes in the engine bay. Then I'm going to bolt this up to the, where'd that go? That went right next to the catalytic converter. And then I'm just going to test fit this guy, make sure I got the right length and everything. I want to leave as much of it on there as I can. Just kind of help keep a good connection. So, anyway. It's kind of a pain just to get the whole exhaust system out of there. Downpipe and all. Obviously, I had to unbolt it. And then had to take off the E-fan just to drop it through. Just to leave enough room to drop the whole manifold through the bottom of it. And yeah, oh, and I had to unbolt the sway bar. So besides that, really wasn't too bad. Let's have some basic tools. So I'll keep you guys updated. I will take a few more videos as I progress through this. So yeah, later. Alright guys, just a little update. So pretty much just had to get all the surfaces clean, mating surfaces for the manifold gasket, and then the downpipe. There's a spot under the car, then this was just disgusting, so I cleaned that up. Completely destroyed the gasket on that when I pulled it off, so got some new gaskets. Got a Nixon gasket, and then here's the manifold gasket right here. Two of these little guys, can't really see, there we go. Anyway, just a cool little trick it's going to show you guys before I slap this together is if you have an old like vape juice vial with like the little syringe inside of there. So this is not vape juice, obviously, but I did fill it with some motor oil. And the reason why I did that is because it makes it pretty easy to drip some new oil on these threads. Like, you really don't need a lot, but it just kind of helps them not rust up and shit. And then I'm going to do it on the bolts that go up here as well. Do a little more just on the ends. Oops. Yeah, just a cool little trick I thought I'd show you, just because, you know, this little syringe type deal could come in pretty handy. Like say you're trying to do like a compression test or whatever, and you pop out these spark plugs, and then you can do like a couple drops of oil inside of there too after you pull them out. Do the compression test again, and that way if there's a difference then you might have blown rings. So anyway, this thing just kind of comes in handy for whatever. So anyway, I'll update you guys in a bit. Peace. And they're like reverse cutting bits, and they just don't cut for crap, man. They're terrible. So ended up using some of my bits. These are like special because they're like reverse cutting bits, but I just used a normal bit, and then that was the same size, and then used one of these guys, and it came right out. But yeah, just an update. Like, it's 20 bucks for the kit. It's not super expensive, but these bits are garbage. Trash, man. And I used oil and everything, so it's not like I, you know, did it wrong, whatever. Anyway, so put the gaskets in, got new hardware in there. Good to go. So then just an update, I put the downpipe back on. Get under here. Hopefully you can see this pretty good. Anyway, so I put a new gasket in there, put some oil on the bolts, and then I have the flex tube, and I've got it around the downpipe up there, and obviously tying into the rest of the exhaust. So I don't have any of the bolt or the bolt clamps or U-clamps. Don't have those on there yet, but once I get those on, this job is pretty much done. So this is just like, I'm not a real mechanic. I don't get paid to do this stuff. I'm just like do it yourself cheap mechanic, I guess. But I like to do my own work, even though it's not gorgeous. I just like working on cars and would rather do it myself than pay a couple $100 to take it to a shop. And basically just getting rid of this old piece of crap flex pipe. And honestly, this has worked great. I don't have it all hooked up yet. I haven't heard a run with it on there. So once these clamps, I hope they clamp down around it, get a nice tight fit. So there's no exhaust leaks. I might add another little part to the end of this video. With it running, just to see if it's different, because it was still super loud. I had my car straight pipe for a while and didn't like that. I guess I could show you guys this. So I had it straight pipe for a while, long story. I'll turn this down. Accidentally ripped my muffler off. Yeah, you ask, how do you accidentally rip a muffler off? I did it anyway. So I think it's too dark for you guys to see, but yeah, I put this, it's a turbo rumbler muffler, I work at O'Reilly's, so I just buy O'Reilly stuff. It was dirt cheap, and yeah, and I think it sounds pretty good, better than straight pipe. So then to do that, I did some small welding, and then I used these clamps, and then I had to make my own bracket here because I couldn't find a bracket to work for, because it's really weird. It's hard to see because it's so dark, but it's a really weird angle. It has to come over and then loop back. So I just kind of fabbed up my own. I just got a straight piece of like this little metal and just bent it, had a little vise, and then welded the bottom of it. And before you guys talk shit, okay, this is JB Weld, okay, but there is a weld underneath there. I just JB welded over it because I may or may not have welded some small holes through it. So anyway, now it doesn't leak, it sounds tits. And basically, it was still pretty loud, and it sounded like there was a massive exhaust leak up front. And my first guess was the manifold gasket, and then my second guess was this gasket. But then once I got under my car, I realized it was the little flex pipe that was causing the leak. So I figured it would just be easier to take it all apart, and that way I had to like cut the little flex pipe out, and figured it'd be easier to do if I had the whole thing off. And that way there's new gaskets in here anyway, so I'm happy with it. You could probably get this done in a full day. This is like my second day working on it, but it's like half day. I got to go to work here in about an hour, so I should have it done before I go to work, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna post another little parts of this clip in a few minutes just to show you what it sounds like once it's all back together. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys. All right, so a bit delayed, but didn't have time to take this video before I had to go to work, so taking it right now. Just so I know you guys don't really have a reference of what it sounded like before, just because I didn't take a video of what it sounded like before. Oh, my battery's about dead, so no flashlight. Cool. Anyway, so I'm just gonna do a quick startup for you, and this is a pretty big jump for me because this thing was straight pipe for a while, so it is like pretty quiet compared to normal. So key in the ignition, about to start her up. Kind of just gotta listen for it, I guess. It's a lot quieter than it used to be. Don't want to romp on it too hard, piss off my neighbors. Anyway, So yeah, it was straight piped and it had that exhaust leak up front. And by doing these two things, I think I definitely get a little bit better response out of it. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this short since you guys are just looking at a black screen. Let me know what you guys think of the video. I hope it helped some of you guys out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.